Welcome back to another podcast with Dr. Kathy Hoeft. Today we're going to talk about plateaus. We all kind of get to a point where we're going to have a plateau, where we're going to stagnate, where we're going to be like, oh, this workout is no longer working for me, or my diet's not working for me, or just in general, it's just not going. That's normal. So we're going to talk about it today. We're going to get over this whole fitness plateau, nutrition plateau, weight plateau, and let's talk about sleep. We're going to go there too, because if you don't sleep well, you're not going to respond to your workout. You're not going to be able to lose weight, and you're not going to feel mentally clear to get to the next level. And that's really frustrating. We're going to give you some great strategies how to fix your workouts, your diets, your sleeping patterns so that you can actually finish this podcast and do something today to change and feel better tomorrow. So, how are we going to do this? Let's start first with a workout. That's my favorite thing. So let's go with understanding what a muscle does, okay? When we do our muscle strength training, if you're going to do a bicep curl, you can't do the bicep curl the same way every single time. If you are only doing this, you're only working, guess what? One part of the muscle. There's two heads. So you've got to do it in a different way. And aren't you bored doing the same exercise every day? So these are things we want to do. What is a plateau? It's actually when the body says, hey, I've been doing this. So you don't really show any improvement. You kind of plateau, but you kind of just stay stagnant. You just kind of say, wow, there's no improvement or increase in my muscle mass, or there's no loss in my waist at all. So why does that happen? Well, the body gets used to it. It's kind of like when people don't eat a lot. So they reduce their calories significantly. Your body kind of goes, are you starving me? Maybe I should keep the food that's in me and the weight that's on you so that you don't become sick. And that's kind of what your body gets used to. It's pretty smart. It knows that if you're doing something for a long period of time or doing the same thing or not giving it something, it's kind of like, hold on, I know how to fix this, but this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to keep everything I have and I'm not going to change it. And I'm going to protect my internal organs, which is kind of the job of the body, so that nothing happens. So that's kind of why we plateau. It's a very common, very normal thing. It's not you, it's everyone. So we want to make sure that we can help you with that and give you some ideas to, challenge the muscles, challenge your diet, challenge your sleep. So how are we going to do that? Let's talk about stretching. When's the last time you stretched your hamstrings? So if you stretch your hamstrings, do you always do it the same way? Do you just sit on a chair and put out your leg and reach for your toes, or do you stand and reach for your toes? Those are all great hamstring stretches, but do you really get anything out of it? We want to make sure that what you're doing actually is pushing the envelope. Like, did you sweat during your workout? If you didn't sweat during your workout, I'm here to tell you probably didn't do a whole lot. It's going to maintain where you are currently, so that's great, but it's probably not going to actually change the muscle mass. It's probably not going to challenge your mind, but definitely not challenge your hamstring or the muscle that you're trying to strengthen. So we got to make sure that everything we do is purposeful, and that way you actually can see and feel the difference. If you don't actually feel anything different, if you don't deepen the stretch or increase the weight or do more reps, you're actually never going to see a change in where you are right now and how you're feeling. That's why it's important for us to constantly challenge your system, get you over this plateau, and then we really need to talk about recovery at the end, but we're going to get there. So studies show that our muscles and nervous system become accustomed to repeated exercises. As I was saying, it's important to overload it. So when we talk about that strength training, it's talking about using weights that are challenging. If you always lift 10 pounds on a bicep curl, at one point, every week, you need to lift 12 pounds, or you need to lift 20 reps instead of the normal 10. Something that is different to challenge the system, because let's be real about strength training. What are we doing? We're trying to do small mini tears of the muscles so that it actually rips, so that our body has to rebuild, get something that's different, and grow girth. So that is the whole purpose of doing it. And muscle needs to be challenged. It needs to, because it goes around the bone. So let's talk about as we age. Osteoporosis is caused a lot of times because there's no muscles actually contracting against the bone to keep the bone really strong. So strength training is so vital, and you have to constantly challenge it so that the muscle is actually being contracted around the bone, as well as trying to regain or increase girth. And I'm not talking that you're going to be a muscle person. So all the ladies right now are saying, no, I can't lift heavy weight. I promise you, you're not going to do, you're not going to turn into a muscle head. I promise. It's just that you need to make sure you strengthen all of the muscles so that you don't have to worry about things like osteoporosis and decreased balance and risk for falling, because that's really what happens when we don't increase our muscle strength. All right, so let's talk about the importance of changing up our routine. It's vital. So if you go to the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we want to make sure that we actually shake things up. So say you want to go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week. So on Monday, I want you to do legs. And on Tuesday, I want you to do upper body. And then guess what? On Wednesday or Thursday, you could do a full body workout and really kind of disrupt the whole system. You might even have muscles that were tired, but that's why it's so important to pick different exercises for the actual muscle that you're working. So if you did the bicep curl this way on Monday and you wanted to do curls on Tuesday, let's do a hammer curl. So that means we're going to do a neutral grip versus palms open to the sky. So those are simple things of ways that we can actually change up your program without actually changing up what muscles we're working, so that you can really make a breakthrough and get over that plateau. All right, how many of you actually stretch? Are you stretching before? Are you stretching after? Are you stretching during the workout? It's kind of important that you do all of it, and not the same way every time. So maybe today when you go to the gym, do the rowing machine for 5 minutes and then stretch your arms, because your arms now have worked to try to make that wake up by doing the rowing machine for 5 minutes. And then go do leg exercises. So you give your arms a little bit of a break, but then you kind of are constantly challenging things. And when we're stretching, we can stretch right then. So we just did a leg exercise and an arm exercise. So now let's stretch your triceps. Now let's stretch your biceps, because now they're nice and warm. So you're actually going to get a stretch that is much more usable and much more showing you of a progression than just, I'm cold, I got to the gym, I want to go lift bicep curls, and I get the weight and I do this 10 times. A, you didn't stretch. B, you just work the same muscle. And C, you're not going to see any progression. Here's some great ways to introduce variety. So you want to think about classes. Think about a personal trainer. Think about walking with a friend. Do things that are different every single day. Try switching. If you always do flat chest press, let's do an incline press or a decline press. And if you don't know how to do that or what to do for that, we have you covered. You can kind of take a look at the My Hummingbird app and take a look at it, but you can also hire a personal trainer at the gym. You can use a friend that might know more than you do to kind of challenge your body in a different workout. And I think the classes are really good too. If you don't really work out regularly, at least you can have an instructor. They're going to show you how to do the exercises. They should safely be able to make sure that you pick the right weights, they pick the right speed, and how you're doing the activities. And it kind of makes it fun. When you have friends that are going to be there for you and support you, it makes working out way better, because for the most part, most people don't like to work out. And we know that. So make it a social event. Make it because you're going to help the other aspects of your body, like social, friends, laugh. Those are all amazing things to improve your longevity and to make you enjoy exercise, even though you might not like actually lifting the weights. I promise you, if you go with your friends and you laugh and do stuff, you will actually enjoy it. HIIT programs, I think, are great. But let's be real. If you have not worked out a day in your life, or you have been waiting 10 years before you wanted to work out, and you used to play tennis and you used to run and you used to be in an amazing shape, great. But do not think you can just all of a sudden start at that level. Let's go slow. We want you to do these things. If you are saying your plateau is that you can't get off the couch, we're not going to start with an immediate HIIT program. We want to start with, how about we go for a walk? How about we go to the gym and do the elliptical? How about we park the car farther and just walk a little bit longer to get to the grocery store? All of those things are small little activities that are improving your health and also decreasing your risk for plateauing, because it's something that's different. If you always park at the second spot, park at the 10th spot and make that the biggest change for your week. Let's talk about strengthening and my reps. How many of you do 3 sets of 10? Maybe 1 set of 10, maybe 2 sets of 10. So let's change it up. If you want to work on strength and that is your goal and you've really plateaued, there are great ways of lifting, okay? So you don't always have to do 3 sets of 10. You can increase your weight and decrease your reps in order to get more of a burn, actually work the muscles a little bit harder, and guess what? You'll see some change and you're going to see yourself getting over that plateau. So if you could only lift 10 pounds and now you want to lift 20 pounds, we want to slowly increase that and kind of go up by either 2 or 5 pounds. 5's a lot, but let's go with 2 pounds, which most gyms have weights that are in increments of 2, so that you can go to 12 pounds, go to 15 pounds, go to 18 pounds, and then go to 20, and do it slow and controlled, but maybe do it with reducing reps. So maybe we do 4 sets or 5 sets, and we start with the heaviest weight and go back down. Or we can do the reverse. We can start with the lightest weight, warm up, and go to the heaviest weight, changing how many reps we do. Once again, all in the app. Take a look at it. I promise you that we can get you stronger and target the right muscle and make it work. Now, when we talk about cross-training and we talk about different types of programming, it's talking about someone who wants to work out, say, 5 or 7 days a week. And we want to, or very sports specific, we want to make sure that when you are working out, or you say, let's talk tennis players. Some tennis players like to play 5 days in a row. Now, I'm going to say I love the sport and I understand playing 5 days in a row, but nothing should be done 5 days in a row, okay? You need to have days of recovery. You have to have days of non-tennis moves. It doesn't mean you can't work out. Listen, if you are a diehard and you want to work out, feel free to work out. But we want to make sure that maybe Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, you played tennis, but on Tuesday you did yoga, or you went for a swim, or you did something that's different, but still work the muscles. So you're still getting that great workout, but you're not doing the same movement patterns. Changing up every day is by far the best way to get the best results of your muscles and of your overall health, mentally as well as physically. Because let's be real, we all get bored. So we want to try different things. It's important to, as I said, the social aspect of working out, to having a class, to be seen at a class and people looking for you. It's much easier to go to the gym when you know your best friend is going to be there. And if you're not there, they're going to just ridicule you later on text message or, kind of guilt you into going. So those are kind of my favorites. So make sure that you're constantly changing it up. Every day should not be the same. Okay? That's the important take-home message with that. We really want to change it up. We want to add different intensity levels. We want to add slower intensity levels. I mean, it's really important. Recovery is kind of really a big deal. I know that everyone says, oh, I don't need that, or, oh gosh, I'm getting a massage. I'm pampering myself. Actually, a massage is not a pamper. A massage is actually part of, if you ask me, the total wellness package. If you're going to work hard and say, do 5 days of work, outs, or tennis, or golf, or you're a runner, if you don't add massage into that routine at some point within that month, you are disservicing yourself. You are creating your own overtrain. You're creating the risk for injuries, and you're creating a possibility of overusing certain muscles and not stretching and working out the muscles that are too tight. So it's really important that you add the whole package. Most people don't realize how important variety is, or the ability to add either physical therapy, massage therapy, personal training, nutritionist into their normal routine. It's not being, extravagant. It's actually being really smart. Those people really study and train for that to help you get a better workout, to see the results you're looking for. How frustrating is it if you go and do a program for, say, 60 days and you lose 2 pounds? Or you have 0 to show for it, like your muscle mass is no different or whatever. And that's kind of common. And usually it's not anything that you did wrong because you took a program offline or you found it in a magazine and we do it, but it might not be meant for you. It's really important to find things that are meant for you. And you really got to change it up. There has to be some mindset behind it of saying, like, look, today you need to run. Tomorrow you need to do yoga. Wednesday, you actually rest, you get a massage, or you go to a meditation class. You do something that's completely outside of physicality and mentally allow your body to relax. And that will also allow your muscles to relax better. and it will make you overall way stronger, more energized, and it will really help you to not have plateaus. Because really the whole point of this is to teach you how not to have a plateau. So you can't be afraid to change things up. Let's look at it. If you're in a rut, if you can't get off that couch, if you're not seeing any results, and you're like, what's the purpose? It means that program isn't for you. So let's come up with a new program. Let's switch your focus to, how does my body feel? What do I actually want to get out of this? Make it something for you. If you make it personal instead of, well, the newspaper said I needed to work out, so therefore I'm going to work out, and you're not going to go work out. And you're not going to push yourself to a point. If your goal is that you want to be the golf, you want to win the golf tournament next year, okay? You want to be the champion for the club. Then guess what? We need to make goals to make it so that you can be. So how do we do that? It doesn't just come from going to the driving range. It doesn't just come from playing 18 holes of golf 3 to 5 times a week. It comes from, yes, those two things, but you have to add in other aspects, like the mental component of it. Can you breathe through that unbelievable putt that you know you want to make that's 20 feet? And can you get your body to calm and relax and only think about you and that ball rather than, oh my gosh, this is to win, or oh my gosh, I have to get this. So the mental aspect of it. Also, we want to make sure that we use stretching, that we use strengthening. Half of our sports, specifically golf and tennis and any sport really there is, if your muscles aren't prepared to do what you want it to do, to be able to keep up with 18 holes of golf 5 days in a row, then it's never going to happen. So you have to strengthen and endurance your muscles properly in that golf-specific stuff in order to be able to improve or see a difference. Because for years, you've played, 3 days a week, and nothing's changing. Lessons are made for a reason. Even the pros have a coach. They work with them every single day. They're constantly tweaking and moving and changing things to make it better. They're also always in the bus to get stretched. They're also seeing their physical therapist. They're also going to the gym every single day, if not once, but twice, to make sure that they're working on all of those different moves so that the muscle imbalances and the muscles are worked properly so that you can do what you want to do on the golf course next year and win that championship. So let's talk about rest and recovery, because most of you don't do it. I'm just going to say it. I know you're not. It's the most common reason why people hit their plateau. They just don't take a rest. I mean, you think you're a wimp because you need a day of rest. I mean, I'll be the first to say, I need my Saturdays and Sundays. There's nothing that's taken me off of my Saturdays and Sundays of rest. That is my days. I work my butt off all week. I work out. I do all the things. But guess what? I give myself 2 days every week that I do nothing. Now, it might not always be Saturday and Sunday, but there are 2 days during the week where I do nothing. You need to give your body and your brain and your nervous system, your orthopedics, everything about your body needs a rest. Don't think it's because you're a wimp. It's what we need. Your body needs time to heal. And let's be real. If you haven't slept, meaning you're not deep sleeping, like you're not dreaming, because we only give ourselves maybe 4 or 5 hours and you really need 7 to 10 hours of sleep. If you're not getting that, you're not healing. That's when your body heals. So you have to really make sure that you're giving yourself the opportunity, if you're not sleeping very well, to have days of true rest and recovery to allow the muscles to relax. If my goal is to create girth again, let's go back to those biceps. I want them to be bigger. I have ripped the muscle. I'm trying to injure the muscle to make it repair and then get bigger. That is the purpose. If you don't give the time the muscle needs to heal and you just keep working it, you're going to cause A, an injury. B, you're going to not see anything. You're going to plateau. And C, it's not going to be fun and you're going to hurt. So it's really important. Your body will tell you. If you can give it a second, listen to your body. If you feel every aspect of it, sit there right now and feel your shoulders. Don't feel your shoulders, like feel what's going on in your shoulders or your hands or your feet. Did you wear bad shoes today and you don't have any support, or you're barefoot on tile right now and every time you walk from your couch to the kitchen, it hurts? Those are muscles telling you, hey, I need a break. I need something. I need some support. I need you to give me some attention and some love. And that's what I want you to think about. And that's what's important so that your body will actually recover. It'll actually improve then, and your mobility, your flexibility, your strength will all actually get better rather than plateau. So it's vital. How are you going to recover? So let's talk about it. Recovering can be a slow walk, not a power walk, but a slow walk, like with the dog. You know, when the dog wants to stop every 2 minutes to sniff, that is not considered a workout. That is a beautiful way to recover. It is slow, it is controlled, it's movement. Movement is beautiful, it is medicine. It will help to heal you, clear your brain. A walk on the beach, not for exercise, but just to actually, I don't know, look at the beach or look at the sunset or smell the air. Those are all really important things. And it doesn't mean that you're being a wimp because you're just taking a day to rest, to relax the body. You can also do things like getting a massage, and maybe go to a stretch class or do different things that can also help you with recovery. Massage, as I said, is not supposed to be an extravagant thing. It's actually a fantastic component of wellness. Pushing the fluids that you have produced and created from ripping the different muscles and tendons while you're working out needs to be flushed out of your system. So if you don't always recover with going on the bike after a hard workout or getting on some piece of cardio to push the lactic acid out, it's just going to stay stagnant in your body. So we need the massage to help us push, elongate the muscle tissues that you've now shortened to kind of help you and make you feel better. So it's really important to add that body work to it. Physical therapy, same thing. If you can have a physical therapist that will work with you and give you the right strengthening exercises and give you the ability to stretch and work the muscle tissues right away when they hurt, then you don't have these injuries. We don't have this, oh my gosh, I didn't want to go to the doctors and I waited 6 months and now you can hardly move your shoulder. That's no good. We need to make sure that you're using the things that we have. People like to say they can't go to massage therapy, they can't go to a physical therapist. Okay, we got a beautiful thing. It's called the foam roller. We have things like the Hypervolt. I use the Hypervolt almost every single day on my patients. Okay, there are multiple massage guns. You can use whatever massage gun you like. That's the one I choose. I really like it. And the reason why is you can do it at home all by yourself. And I've actually shown it in the videos in the Hummingbird Wellness for each body part. So you can actually figure out how much pressure you need to push through, where you should do it, not to put it on a bone, how to work the muscles, how to stretch and use the massage gun so that all of those things will be released. And guess what? You did it at home. You didn't have to worry about a schedule. You didn't have to hire someone. You got to do it all by yourself, which for a lot of you, that makes it easier for you to do recovery and you get to do it on your time and help yourself relax. And guess what? You did it yourself. So now you know how to fix yourself, which is always the best way if you ask me, so that you constantly are challenging your body and helping your body so that you can heal and get past this plateau or make sure that you're seeing the results you want. Let's talk about sleep. So sleep is probably one of the most important things, which most of us completely blow off. I mean, when's the last time you got 8 hours of sleep? Anyone? Probably not. So let's not think that's a good thing. Now, in today's world, let's be real. We are constantly being challenged by a million different things at all times. My phone never stops beeping. I actually now put it on focus or, do not disturb so that for moments of my life, I can go where I can't see that anyone's texting me or that there's not an email coming in or that there's not a news flash coming in. Those are really important things to do. And especially during sleep time. Do you have a sleep routine? I'm going to guess, but probably not. But sleep routines are so vital. And in future podcasts, we're going to talk to some great sleep experts to really kind of dive into the research of why sleep is so important and how it's a sin that sleep is completely, we don't even think about it anymore. We don't make it a priority, and it really should be a priority. I mean, if you don't sleep, you're not going to lose weight. If you don't sleep, your brain is not going to work the way you want it to work. If you don't sleep, you are going to feel lousy and you have more of an increased risk for, guess what? Falls, for hurting yourself, for injuries, for saying something that you shouldn't say, for forgetfulness, because you just haven't slept. It is vital. We have to sleep, and we really want to sleep 8 to 10. Let's go 8 to 10. That'd be great. But 7 to 9 is really what they are recommending. I am the first to tell you, I wish I could, but I'm probably closer to 5 to 6. And it's not good. And then on the weekends, I'm trying to make up. There's no such thing as make up sleep. Okay. Let's be real. Every day you need to work on it. They have amazing things. Whoop, the Aura Ring, your telephone you can set it up for. All of those things you can now set up to tell you to go to bed. It will ring you. It'll vibrate you. It'll do whatever you need to do so that you are told and remember like, oh, wow, it's 10 o'clock. Okay, my sleep routine is supposed to start right now. And you should make a routine. And we really want to make it so that you understand the importance of sleep. And as I said, in a podcast coming up, we're going to go through all of those things and give you the ideas of exactly how to make that routine perfect for you, because let me tell you, it's different for every single person. And it really depends on how you like to sleep, when you have to wake up, when do you eat dinner? All of those things do matter. So we'll work on that. So let's also talk about nutrition. All right, so we talked about when we eat. Okay, is that important? Yes, it can be, especially if you're trying to lose weight. If your plateau is about, hey, I'm not losing the weight, I'm just frustrated, I'm not feeling great, I don't have any energy. Those are all things that could be nutrition related. And that's something we can fix. That's something we can change. It's an easy fix, actually. So don't let what you eat or how you eat be the issue for why you are not healthy or why you potentially have more inflammation or why you potentially don't feel good. That's a sin, because there's enough information out here in this world to tell you, hey, there are good things to eat that are better for you to eat in the evening, in the morning, to give you energy, to help you sleep. All of those things are out there. And it's really important to understand that nutrients matters. So if you eat something that comes in a box, okay, and you eat it every single day, and it is processed and there is nothing real in it, there's no protein, there's definitely some carbs, there's probably some fat, there's probably some sugar in there, but there's no like true nutrients in it. Guess what you're going to feel the next day? Like crap, okay? That is not cool. You feel what you eat. You are what you eat. Food is actually medicine. It's what makes us tick. It's what allows us to have energy. It allows you to be better on the golf course, to think more clearer. If you don't hydrate and you don't eat properly and you want to all of a sudden, I don't know, be the next top scientist of the world, you're not going to be able to do that, because you have to have those things for the brain to actually work, for the muscles to actually work, to actually sleep. You're surely not going to be the champion of the golf tournament, because you know why? You have zero energy. And you're not going to have the ability to get past, I don't know, hole number 13, because that's usually where mentally we start to lose it a little bit, and physically we're starting to get a little bit tired. And so it's really important that we kind of make sure that that nutrition and that hydration is completely aligned with what you want to do. And let's be real, protein. It's my favorite thing to talk about. There's whey, there's pea, there's plant, there's soy. And remember, there's food. Food has protein in it, okay? So you don't have to do shakes. You can just do food. And we want you to eat protein because you know why? Plateau. Okay, let's talk about the bicep again. If you want that bicep to, say, heal because you hurt it, if you don't have protein, it's not going to heal. And if you want it to get bigger, it's definitely not going to get bigger unless you have protein. I love to make people understand the importance of protein. I would love to say that you'd have at least 1 gram of protein per your body weight. Now, that's a lot. I'll give you that. But if you could at least try to get 80 to 100 grams of protein per day, I promise you, you will feel better. You will be stronger. You will be able to do more, and you will actually start to like the fact that you're A, losing weight, B, you're going to start to see some muscle tone, and C, you're going to have some more energy, and it's going to be fantastic. Now, do I say you can only eat protein and nothing else? No, that's not what I'm saying at all. So there are important things. You need to have a balance, okay? So protein is my number one, but you need to have fiber. You need to have carbohydrates, and you need to make sure that you're smart about what you're eating. Do I want you to have to count all of your micro and macronutrients every day and put it into a computer and do all that? Let's be real, for the most 85% of the world, they're not doing that, okay? So you can look at things. There's really easy ways to just say like, hey, I need to have a fist of protein, okay? So I can have, 30 grams of it, so 3 ounces, 4 ounces, depending on it. That's pretty easy. I can do that. I don't need any pieces of paper. I don't need a cup. I can just go, woo, okay, my salmon needs to be that big. And so those are things that we want to think about. With carbohydrates too, let's just talk about the plate. All right, if you're going to make a meal, let's make it a meal. Okay, most people eat on the run. Not good. Okay, it's not going to help us with fueling our bodies. Okay, I am the biggest offender. If I can eat a bar between my treatment room and the bathroom, I am golden for the whole day. No, that's not good. I'm going to be dying by 2:00. So it's important to sit down and have a meal, especially at nighttime or whatever your meal of choice is. So if you're a breakfast person or a lunch person, make it a meal. Make it the most beautiful plate you have ever seen, and beautiful by colors. I want it to be the most colorful, most beautiful plate you've ever seen, and you're going to be excited to eat it. You're going to salivate, which means actually all of the proper acids are working so you can actually digest your food, which is a lot of people's problems, will actually help you to feel better and guess what? Help you sleep a little bit better too. So let's make beautiful, colorful plates with some carbohydrates, with some proteins, and of course, your healthy fats. So fats are necessary for all of hormones, joint health, brain health. Did you know that an avocado, yes, it's filled with fat, but guess what? It's the most amazing thing for your brain. And you need to have healthy fats every single day because that's what helps you get to mentally clarity, to help your joints and the collagen and the lining of your joints to heal. I'm not going to get into specifics on calories and all of that because all of those things depend on what you're training for. That's where you have an individual conversation. That's where you can really break through your plateau based off of how we do that. And I think it's really important to know that not every single person is equal. I know that usually we're cooking for two people, but what one person can eat and what the other person can eat may not be the same. So try to make sure that you pick foods that you like, that are healthy, that are real, okay, that come from the earth, that come from this not in a box, okay? And that will help to fuel your body and get you feeling a lot better. And it really will decrease your fatigue, your an inability to kind of get over this plateau. So by eating, by working out, by drinking water, all the things you actually know, which I know you're sitting here going, we know all this. Yeah, you know all that, but do you do it? You got to make sure that you actually do it. So go and make sure that you plan some meals. It's the best way to do it. So we've talked about mind and mental and clarity and all of that. Food matters, water matters, motion matters or movement, okay? And sleep matters. They're my favorite pillars to talk about. You can't be progressing in life or improving your longevity if you don't actually do all of those things. And it's not just one thing. It's kind of like diet. When you want to lose weight, is it just about the food? No. Is that a lot of it? Absolutely. But does it also mean you need to look at how much do you move? I mean, if you sit on the couch all day long and never move, or say you're a desk chair, and then you go from your desk chair to your car, and then you go to your car to the couch, and you never walked, like all of our little Apple Watches and all of our things that we have, and counters and steps and Fitbits, all of those things will tell you exactly how many steps you did. If you're under 2,000 steps a day, we should probably talk. We need to make sure you move a little bit more and help you get out of your rut. And we need to help you do that because that's going to be the key to your longevity, to help your mindset, to make you hungry, because sometimes you just don't eat enough, and you're not going to lose any weight if you're not eating enough because you don't have any nutrients for your body. And once again, kind of like that starving thing, your body's going, hey, if you're not going to feed me, I'm going to hold on to everything I have. And if you don't have the ability to drink water, do things, you're going to get stiff. And then when you get older, you're going to feel pretty lousy. And then the first thing that you're going to lose is your balance. And then when you lose your balance, guess what happens next? You fall. And then when you fall, guess what? There's a lot that goes on there. So we can break things. And then we're in the hospitals, we're doing different things, and we're not enjoying our life. Once again, everything that we talk about is about making those last 10 years of your life amazing, not sick. I want to make your last 10 years awesome. And this is how you're going to do it, is by recovering, getting over plateaus, eating well, drinking water, and just move. Don't make it difficult. I don't need you to go to a gym. I need you to move. It could be something as simple as sit and stand off of this chair 10 times every hour, and you will feel 10 times better. So let's change your thinking. Let's make you feel better. Let's get you out of this rut that you're in, this setback. Let's make you understand that it's simple, it's easy, and you just have to make that small step. Just got to change one thing, and then everything else will continue with that. If you do the same workout every time, stop doing that, okay? Change it up. Go to a class, go walk with a friend, do anything to make the workout feel different. And don't get frustrated. Know that it is normal and that we're going to work on all these different aspects by challenging yourself. Take it as a fun challenge. Like this week, I want to try a new class or I want to meet someone new. So, okay, you go to the gym and you go to yoga because you've never been there and you meet the instructor. There you go. 2 goals already done. So kind of make it a game with yourself of how you're going to make this plateau actually go away, because just thinking about it isn't going to do it. We got to make sure that you actually change something. So in, say, 4 to 6 week program, you want to make sure you want to increase your girth. Let's make that the goal. Okay. So how we're going to do that? We're going to change how you lift your weights. So instead of doing 3 sets of 10, you're going to do 4 sets of a decreasing reps with increasing weight. Okay. If yours is mobility or don't want to feel stiff or you're upset about your flexibility, so make flexibility your thing. Start. We have to have a starting point. So where are you right now? How high can you raise your leg in hamstring stretch? Okay, so let's have that note, make a picture of it, do something, and then every day stretch so you actually feel the stretch and take a look at the app and see all the different ways you can stretch the hamstring. And then try that. And then in, say, 3 weeks, look at that same position, go to it, make a picture, and I bet you that will have improved. And that's how we do it. We do it with small, little things. And nutrition and food, that's easy, okay? Let's really just look at it. We want to get rid of this plateau. We want to make you feel better. Well, you probably have some inflammation. You're probably not feeling great. So let's look at what you're eating. Make sure you're having some protein. Make sure you're eating supplements meaning in good foods. So remember that colorful, beautiful plate you're making so that you have omega-3s, that you have your vegetables, that you have your carbohydrates, that you're kind of giving your ability for your muscles to grow and to heal, and you're going to recover, and you're going to maybe get a massage or maybe do some meditation or maybe just go for a walk on the beach and take some deep breaths. But you got to do something to recover, and you need to do it every week, not just once in a blue moon because you're sick. So they're natural. I promise you, everyone's going through a different plateau. Fitness is challenging. In the old days, it used to be same workout, same thing every single day. This is what we do. And that's really not the way the body likes to work. There's nothing in our life every day that is the exact same. So if you challenge and work your body in different ways, you will constantly be ready for the change and the things that occur every single day. And you are not going to be at risk for injuries or for surgeries or anything like that. So make sure you check out the Hummingbird Wellness app. I promise you there you will see golf specific, tennis specific, back, shoulder, anything that hurts. There's definitely exercises for everyone there. There's stretching, there's strengthening, and guess what? I make it real easy with your nutrition. There's nutrition. There's in the respect of I actually put in recipes that are delicious that actually hit your protein goals. I also put in something different, Tai Chi, to learn how to breathe, to learn how to ground yourself. Amazing for a recovery day of learning where your body is in space and how to breathe through it to get you stronger and to mentally allow yourself to figure out where you are on this ground and what you're doing. So thank you so much for listening. I can't wait to see you again and have a great day.